back to the Michigan Business Beat, brought to you on the Michigan Business Network. Chris Holman here, not in our studios in downtown Lansing, but once again on the garden level of the Holman Studios. As a matter of fact, I think that probably this is becoming more familiar to our viewers than any other studio we have at this point in time. But we are going to stay pretty much in town, and we're going to spend a little time with Michelle Lantz. She is the CEO of the Greater Lansing Food Bank. And Michelle, now you always call it the Greater Lansing Food Bank, but you guys are like intergalactic in the areas that you cover now. Tell us a little bit about the food bank.
Yeah, I would love to. So yeah, we actually cover 7 counties. So not just the Tri-County area, but we go all the way up to Clare, including Isabella, Gratiot, and Shiawassee. So it's a very large territory. It's about 650,000 people that are in that region. And at this point, there's about 13.5% of our population that is food insecure. So those are the folks that we work with.
You know, I think people don't realize that people that close to where they are right now are in that kind of a need and food insecure.
Yeah, I think most people would be surprised to know the people sitting around them in their businesses even could be food insecure or their families, just depending what's going on in their situation. So, you know, someone might be working, but maybe a spouse or partner was laid off or for whatever reason had a medical issue and they become food insecure as a family. So I think it's important for people to understand that those sitting around them, living around them may have hardships that they just don't even comprehend.
Well, and I think, you know, knowing, keeping in mind that we have a business audience, there's a numeric formula that tells you if you don't feed your people, they're not going to be as productive and business is not going to work as well. Their kids who you depend on tomorrow as employees are not going to do as well in school because we know scientifically that they don't learn when they're hungry. So when you're looking at this need, is it growing or is it shrinking?
It fortunately, because of the inputs of folks like food banks and other people who are providing food, it's staying around the same, which is the good news. So you don't want that food insecurity rate to keep rising. Otherwise, the resources that are in the community aren't working. So during the pandemic, for example, at the start of the pandemic, Feeding America, which is our trade association and kind of the national go-to for rates and what's going on, they predicted that there'd be about a 30% rise in food insecurity due to the hardships, all the layoffs, the business closings and things. Because of the swift response of food banks and our partners, and the government, some of the stimulus dollars, we were able to keep the food insecurity rate level. So that 30% increase remained the same. You know, it didn't rise 30% simply because of all of the extra stuff we were all doing to make sure that that didn't happen. So that was the good news through the pandemic.
Well, you know, it's interesting when you look at this and you say to yourself, can this really be happening in America? The need has been growing over the years, and I would point to your backdrop as proof of that. You just had a huge project so that you could service more.
Yeah, absolutely. We were outgrown. We outgrew the space that we were in, our 30,000 square foot facility that we had for a lot of years. The building behind me is now 60,000 square feet. So we don't have to turn away any food that might come to us from retail or other donated food like USDA because of a spatial issue. So now this last year, actually, we distributed about nearly 12 million pounds of food, which is 10 million meals. And we wouldn't have been able to do that in the facility before. So we did the capital campaign. We raised all the money we needed for this project. So we had zero debt on it because of the community just coming out in full force. And now everything that we raise moving forward can go right towards food and providing food for the community.
Absolutely. So you got good buy-in from the community. How did the business community ante up?
Oh, they were amazing. With our biggest donors were the corporate partners, Jackson National and Auto Owners. They were the 2 largest ones. From there, we had business support like you couldn't believe, hundreds of businesses that came out to help with this. And I think that goes to show that they understand that their folks, their own employees, and the people who are their patrons are the ones that are going to benefit from this. And if everybody is fed, there's the old saying that if you're hungry, you only have one problem. And that is, trying to find food. It is all encompassing. So the business community understands that, and thank goodness, and I appreciate every dollar that came from, from the businesses for this project. Likewise, we are also able to provide food. We used to have, and most food banks have a cost sharing plan with the other nonprofits that are partners with them. We went to a completely free model at the start of the pandemic, and we're going to be able to continue that through at least another year because of that fundraising. Costs about an extra $1 million a year to do that. So, we have to raise a little bit more. But we, then the nonprofit partners can just worry about distributing food and not what their budget is.
But that is an incredible figure when you think of the service area that you have and the number of people. So, congratulations on your new building. Congratulations on your position there. You've been in it how long?
Almost 2.5 years now.
Wow. It seems like yesterday. Well, congratulations on all that. And thanks for the great work you do. Michelle Lantz, CEO of the Greater Lansing Food Bank, and Infinity and Beyond is pretty much your service area. Thanks, Michelle.
Thanks, Chris.
All right. We'll be right back on the Michigan Business Beat. And this is the Michigan Business Network. I'm Chris.